RPG for You and Me presents Neon Heat, a duet actual play podcast using the Savage Worlds rule set in our custom cyber fantasy setting. Thank you for joining us, and welcome back to Caldonics.
Previously on Neon Heat, Athena has Thalassicus send a cleaner to Silas's house to remove the damning conspiracy wall, and Zadal reads the glasses recovered by Athena to reveal that Silas has been stolen away by yellow-eyed mist wraiths. Athena and Zadal report the situation to Roth, and they're redeployed with Tuca to find Silas and keep it quiet. The team proceeds to the garbage processing center and finds in their investigation that people in the area have been going missing, and the barge driver has not yet returned from the morning run. On their cycles, the task force ventures into the Caldonics Bay, and they locate the empty and drifting barge, but are barred from leaving by suddenly illuminated hordes of orange moths, and a figure looming tall on the barge behind them.
We open on the barge. Darkness all around you. We hear the sound of water lapping against the barge you stand on as it bobs in continuous motion, occasionally sloshing onto the flat surface. The humid air still carries the sweet tinge of garbage. Orange pinpricks of light are speckled on the nearby cave wall, cutting through the darkness. And crouching on the lip of the barge's cabin 10 feet above you is a misshapen orange humanoid form composed of Siku moths. One enormous moth sits in the center of what might pass for a head with its wings fully extended, and glowing orange eyes adorn each wing with enough dark space to make it distinct from the rest of the body, and they peer down at you, waiting.
Oh, waiting for me?
Tuca and Zadal are standing very close to you, huddled in the darkness, awaiting your orders or following your lead. What would you like to do, Athena?
Athena stands there, taking a heavy beat while she's very scared and does not know what to do. Really stupidly points to herself. Interloper? Why? Me?
Another beat of silence as it considers you and says,
"Yes, you. You were the interloper from the warehouse."
Yep, that was me. Okay, whew. Glad we're on the same page.
"What are you doing here?"
Looking for the barge.
"You found it. Why are you here?"
"'Cause we're looking for the Oculus. And I think you helped him before. So maybe we're friends. Maybe. I'd like that." And she's sweating fucking bullets.
I think I'm going to ask you to just make a fear roll here because there's a lot of orange everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's normally just a straight up penalty, but I think given the circumstances that would be appropriate. So this is going to be a spirit roll, and I'm going to say, is this a minor hindrance for you?
It's a minor, so
it's a minor. I'll say spirit at -1.
10.
What about this situation allows you to steel yourself against your phobia of orange light?
She backs up physically into her friends and remembers that she's not alone right now, and she's got people to help, even if she's real scared.
It considers this, shifts a little bit, still crouching on the lip of the cabin, and says,
"The Oculus is missing?"
Yes. Thought you might have known something about that, because you got moths everywhere, it seems.
My reach is substantial. I do not know anything about this directly. But
I think it just looks off to one side out over the water and leaves the statement there for a moment.
it was only a matter of time before something happened.
Then why did you help him before?
Persuade at -4.
Dang. I will spend only 1 Benny on this.
Okay.
That's a no.
The form shifts.
My reasons are my own.
And who would you be? Got a name? Doesn't have to be your real one, that'd be silly.
I have a name. If I were to tell you my name, what would you do?
Well, know what to call you when we're talking, for starters. It's just polite, you know. As she says that, her legs are jangling.
You oppose the parasite. Yes.
Yes, very, very strongly opposed.
Why?
Because it only seems interested in hurting people and taking stuff, and nope, not cool with that.
And what is it that you want?
Oh, God, that's kind of a nebulous question, isn't it?
Only as nebulous as you make it.
And I think now it pushes itself up into this. It looks like a humanoid form, but the proportions are just off. And it starts to walk back and forth on top of the cabin above you, pacing. The movements are weird and janky, and you can see motion on its form. Like these moths are not static, like they're living things that twitch and move their wings. And so it just kind of creates this weird, obscure form that you're watching.
It's fucked up. Athena's watching that and trying to think real hard about what she does want. It takes her 15 seconds to just mull that shit over. So I just want to help and I just want to protect people, and I can't do that when I don't know enough.
There is a line between knowing enough and knowing too much.
Oh, I probably passed that a long time ago.
Not yet. I have been watching you.
I know, I keep seeing moths.
You are tenacious.
Thank you.
It sort of bobs its head back and forth.
She mirrors that with her hand.
My name is Halarishi.
Nice. She was wondering about that from the message from before.
A name that will mean nothing to most.
Well, it meant something to somebody.
The orange eyes narrow and it stoops down a little bit.
Who?
I'd love to tell you, but I don't know who sent me that message. Trying to figure it out.
What message?
Just a vague, threatening message. Just mentioned your name, didn't know who you were. Now I do.
It straightens up and continues pacing.
You are here for the Oculus because he was taken?
Yes.
How? What brought you here? How did you track him?
They put him in a dumpster.
A dumpster and then onto the barge.
That's what we thought, but maybe he's stashed somewhere away. Maybe they just, I don't know.
My curiosity was drawn when the barge veered from its normal course. The routine interrupted. It seems likely that if he was here, he was taken elsewhere.
So you didn't take the barge driver?
Me?
No, you didn't?
No. I have no interest in your people.
It said he's been having dreams in his little journal. I think she took the journal with her. Wiggles it in the air a little bit. He's been having dreams about creepy eyes. And so have a bunch of other people got kidnapped, so who's taking them? Who's taking them? What eyes? She's so painfully thirsty right now.
What else do you know? What can you tell me?
I think that's all. Is that all we know, guys? She looks over her shoulder. Did I miss something?
Zadal is eyes only for this thing too. Oh, about the kidnapping?
Yeah, Yellow Eyes. They took him. That's what I forgot. How's Tuca doing?
Tuca is She's behind you and also shaking a little bit, but, following your lead and trying to keep a brave face.
Yellow eyes. This means one of several things. Do you have nothing more than that?
They were made of mist, and I was pretty sure the only ones I've seen like that had red eyes before. You know where that fucker is? 'Cause man, I'd love to have words.
Ah. The forms of mist I have seen throughout the city. You are looking for the Karnak, yes?
Yes.
It holds its hands out to the side.
They are one and the same.
The red and the yellow? They can do both?
No.
Oh. Is it like a switch? Is it a change off? Is it they pass a baton? What's going on with that?
Without it, signaling or anything, there's a small cloud of moths that billow over from the cave wall that's off to one side and gather in the air near it. They make a long line. It reaches out its formless hand, and it attaches to the hand, and then it makes a line down towards you.
When the chain is severed,
part of the line breaks and falls off and flutters to the ground.
The loose links become scattered, free.
So, she's grasping for words, and I think she just lands on metamorphosis.
Without their influence, they have autonomy, the ability to change, grow, become something different, or more. The parasite is single-minded. Its progeny just as much so, while it influences them. But when the connection is severed,
it just lets it hang.
They're called the prisme, the changing.
Sounds important. She says out loud. What changes?
It shrugs.
It depends on the individual. What retains control, what grows, what exists, what disappears. This Karnak, without its influence from...
And it waves a hand generally towards the lighthouse, which you can see in the distance.
When the link was destroyed, they were free. You have seen this. You saw what happened when you killed the man.
I just kind of assumed everybody was going crazy.
You would not be wrong.
So why does some devolve and other ones grow? What, is it random?
No, it is up to the individual. Some are...
He pauses, looks at you pretty squarely.
Some have conviction, where others do not. Some have progressed to a point from which they cannot return. It is different for all.
So it's not a death sentence?
Not inherently, no.
Ooh.
But choices must be made. Some can coexist. Some can overtake one another. Extraction is dangerous. Difficult, not advisable.
You had people at the fans. She wasn't really thinking about that before, but it occurs to her. Maybe because of the lack of breeze out here.
Stares at you.
Why were they there?
It was my intention to disrupt the parasite.
The boat continues to rock in the water in the relative silence.
So the parasites... It came from somebody? Did it come from you?
Make a persuade at -2.
8.
It did not come from me, but we share more in common than I would prefer.
Like siblings?
Waves a hand. If that helps you understand.
It might.
Perhaps.
Do you know what this shadow man, this dude, she doesn't want to say the name. She doesn't know if that's going to make things explode out here. She's very concerned about that now. What does it want? Does it just want to just take everyone in the city? I can't even fathom to understand what Why?
I think you have the whole of it. The parasite wants. It is id. It is driven by desire, ambition, recognition.
Wants to make a name.
Yes.
But if there's no one left around to say the name, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
There will always be more.
I heard it used to be a herald for someone, but now it kind of wants to do its own thing. Who is it trying to be a hype man for?
This is going to be a persuade at -4.
No.
The less you know, the better. I have undoubtedly told you far more than I should have. Know only that the parasite cannot be trusted and must be killed, destroyed outright. It wants to spread itself.
We can't have that.
No.
It says that with almost palpable frustration.
I do not know what the correct path is, but I am committed to my promise, my oath. Neither can the parasite be permitted to live, to spread, to grow. It seeks a perversion of what we would consider life.
That's worrying, but kind of what I assumed. What about these green eyes?
That catches it by surprise. Probably get a bit of a visual there. Stops pacing and looks over to you and says,
What do you know?
They wanted to have a chat.
cuts its hand through the air and says,
No. Never. Do not.
Already did. It was a while ago.
I would not repeat this mistake.
Well, they told me not to trust the parasite, so I wouldn't even known about that beforehand. Gave me a big ol' heads up on that.
We are all wont to act in self-interest. You wear the colors of another.
Yeah.
Who? I have answered your questions. Now you answer mine.
Benicia Olivier.
This name means nothing to me.
Well, that's where I got it.
And this Benicia, where did she?
Alaricourt, probably. Most likely her sister Suzette. There's a patron up top I keep hearing.
Yes. There always will be.
Are you
Am I what?
a patron?
No.
I don't know what's going on. You gotta understand. These questions might seem dumb, because they probably are.
They are not dumb questions. They are questions to which none should have the answers. None of this should have happened.
I don't understand what that means.
You are not meant to.
I think despite being pretty scared, she's a little exasperated at that.
These worlds must remain separate. That is the choice. That was the choice.
Who chose?
Your people. Your leadership.
When?
persuade at -4 again.
That's a 13.
In recent memory. Years. Your Oculus, the man you seek, he chose. He was one who chose.
Are you sure it wasn't the one before him?
You speak of Davith.
I do speak of Davith, and God, I'd love to know where that fuck is.
He's dead.
He's dead?
Yes.
How?
I think this is going to be another persuade at -4.
Aspen. 11.
He was murdered, like many others.
Who?
Who what?
Who murdered him?
It was a scheme set up by many. As for who dealt the killing blow, I do not know for certain, but your Oculus was involved. They were hauling him away. I found them in the streets before they could make away.
Fuck. She looks at Zadal very specifically after that one.
He's just wide-eyed, speechless, doesn't know how to react here. But then Halarishi poofs apart into a cloud of moths that
that gives her a start.
Yeah, poofs into a cloud of moths that immediately congeal in front of you back into the form.
Are you okay?
And takes steps towards you. Now that you're up closer, you can see a lot more of these details. The eyes narrow at you, and shapeless hand points out towards you, and he says,
"He was with another who wears your colors. A face I cannot recall. A name that evades my mind. That was taken."
Oh boy. Well, maybe it'll be easier for me to find him if we're flying the same flag.
That could be, unless your links have been broken.
Would I know?
Unlikely.
So these links, they're in order, right? So if one above me gets shattered, it's all just gonna go to shit?
It depends. There is no way to know how it will resolve in the end. If there is a continued chain, influence could be exerted. Perhaps not, but
points at you again.
The unknown, this shade.
Never seen it before. Never before everybody got together to off Davith. Can't say I'm sorry he's gone, but...
Not that I recall. But that is the problem, you see. So I cannot say what this shade stood for, stands for, what their aims, their goals are. But they are phantom, elusive. Davith was unliked by many, but his results often spoke for themselves.
I'm not really a fan of his results, personally. That's just me.
No, I suppose not. I have done my best to remain out of sight, inactive. That was part of the decision. But now that the parasite has regained control, is growing stronger.
Might not be an option.
No.
Is all this just down here, in the city? In the cave?
Persuade at -2.
Bad.
My knowledge and reach are limited. This cave is what I know.
Well, your green pal infected some people on the surface. Maybe not infected. I don't really know a good word for it. Co-inhabited?
The word would also depend on the individual.
What if it made him crazy?
Then you are likely speaking of the parasite. The surface. Tell me what you mean.
My friend's brother went off somewhere doing something and came back with green eyes, and it made him angry and cruel, and he almost tore down their whole tribe, their whole band. And they had to stop him, or he wouldn't have, it seems. But he wasn't... I mean, he said he might have been a little surly beforehand, but not like that. But then his other brother was the one that blew up on the island with me. So...
And when was this?
Before I met him, 7 years, 10 years, somewhere in there. I don't know where he is. I haven't been able to ask him these specifics.
The form poofs apart into a cloud of moths again that fly back up and reform on top of the cabin.
Your friend is safe for the time being, but I know the parasite always wanted to complete the set.
She sucks her tooth and just... So it got the other one too? Got Veli up there?
I do not know. I know this cave, which is my home.
Thank you for your help at the island, by the way.
I did not do it for you.
Sure, but help is help, and I'm not gonna be ungrateful about it.
It nods to that.
So regardless.
This time, it addresses Tuka.
Your intentions were good for where you stored him, but you placed others in danger, whether you knew so or not.
And Tuka is partially hiding behind you, but standing back there.
Is she kind of invisible?
Probably a little bit, yeah, camouflage. She's still, like, visible, but yeah, her scale pattern shifts.
Tuka, where did you put him?
I left him with some friends.
That's what you said.
Yeah, out. They live out on the water,
Oh.
separate from the city. It was, they're trustworthy. They keep them. It wasn't far from the lighthouse, easy enough to get there.
Smart.
I thought so.
It'd be a shame to not go and check up on him, since we're already out here.
The form waves an arm again and says,
I have just told you he is fine, and he will be.
But you also said that danger abounds.
He is no longer on the waterfront. I removed him.
So where is he now?
That is not your concern.
Oh, I think it is, though, she says very firmly.
Your friend has choices to make, trials to endure.
What does that mean?
It means if left to his own devices, he could follow the same road as his brother. He could die. He could be taken over by the parasite, used as a weapon, become a beast, slavering with no mind for himself.
Why are you telling me this and not telling me where he is?
Because there is nothing you can do for him.
But what if I can, though?
This time, instead of poofing out, it just drifts down through the air directly in front of you.
She's really scared, but she does not take a step back.
Do not blame me for the choices of your leadership. This was the decision. I will help my people. And you,
And he just looks you up and down.
you carry this taint with you.
Sorry, I didn't have a choice about that.
I believe you, but I cannot trust you because it is the same color as the one with the oculus, the one who murdered Jex Davith.
It turns and rakes one of its arms through the air, and there's a flurry of all these moths that spiral out back towards the cavern.
And I cannot remember the name. It was taken, and so we cannot act.
How do we get it back?
We do not get it back.
You can get a name back. You got a brain, don't you? We can look in it.
Turns and stares at you.
Perhaps if you can find your oculus.
So this gross purple stuff inside me, this taint, what is that a prisme? Is that what I should call it? Does it have a name? Why is it bad?
No. The prismae are those unfettered, no longer connected, chained. They change. They have no influence.
No influence on them or no influence to exert?
No influence on them.
So what's in me?
I do not know. Only that you share the color of one who is unknown to me.
I was more asking in like broad strokes, like what do you call people like me and Troya on the island and like the Karnak people that have this in them? What do you call the thing that's in them? Because I can't just keep shouting, "Hey, purple," every time I want to have a chat. Because it's not very good at that anyway.
There's a long bout of silence before it says,
Already too much I have told you. Any more, I must have your word that you will keep this to yourself.
I'm just trying to
Your
survive.
word.
Of course. Do you want to shake on it? I don't want to crush your moths.
is this truthful for
Yeah.
Athena? Okay.
She's going to keep this solely to the folks here and possibly Pavi.
Its eyes narrow and says,
I will take your word at face value because I know it can be trusted.
She's surprised about that because everybody's been treating her very duplicitously. So, do you trust me or do you not trust me? I'm getting mixed signals here.
Based on what I have seen, your actions so far have been acceptable, but I do not know what influence might yet hang over you. Even so, I may have little choice but to take your word for now. There is no formal word for what you are, or what you share.
and he flutters about a little bit. Can you make me a notice, actually? This is going to be at -4.
Okay. No.
There's almost a whispering edge to the words that you're hearing, like they are coming from where he is standing. Like when you met Hermes earlier in the season, his words were sort of whispering and wind-like, but there's just the very faintest sort of hushed edge to the words.
We are the spectrum, shades. That is the word decided upon. There is no word for the join, because it was decided that this was not desirable.
Sounds like something bad happened.
That would depend on who you ask.
So no names, okay. It's nice when you find out something is quantifiable and it has a name, but I guess nebulous is fine.
If you prefer, it used to be that you would be called vessels.
That doesn't feel as good.
I thought not.
Is there a better way to communicate with what's inside me? You know, what I'm vesseling?
I do not know what you're vesseling. You are like your friend. You have been exposed. It is possible that one of you will wrench control from the other, or you could live in harmony.
Ooh, I'd really like that one. That sounds like a good option.
Or you could separate, as is meant to be.
That can happen?
It can. They are called the Ashen.
That doesn't sound good.
Moves its shapeless hand up to indicate its eyes, and then sweeps back.
Their eyes, their hair, ashen. When the separation occurs, it is often traumatic, sometimes for both parties.
Is that like a link being severed?
A link?
Like what people can do just without having, being a vessel. Like lightning and crystal diffusing, pew, she makes a finger gun.
Its eyes sort of narrow in confusion.
I do not know such things.
Is that what happened to the Oculus? A little bit? Because he's got, one gray eye.
Possible. Perhaps likely. I cannot remember.
Well, that's quite a puzzler, she says, starting to pace.
You know such people. You have met them.
Yeah. But I don't think my mom had anything extra in her.
It just shrugs.
I would not know.
She's very confused.
My purpose is to keep these worlds separate. It was decided that would be the best. For the best.
So we weren't always?
No.
How do you make a whole city forget about something like that?
Waves its hands.
Not this city.
Not this city?
Not the whole city.
I don't understand.
It nods a bit and says,
I have said much to you already. I am bound by oaths, promises I made that I intend to keep.
Where'd the Karnak go?
Where I cannot.
To the surface?
it looks at you and then walks to the edge of the barge and looks down.
Oh, God.
Below.
That's pretty expansive there.
Holds its arms out to the side.
It is not my domain. But you have already met the one.
Yep.
This Karnak, broken from the parasite's chain, is changing, growing. It is not of the parasite any longer. Do you understand?
Yep. I need to know what that Karnak looks like.
This time it poofs into a cloud of moths, and more moths come over from the cavern wall, and they recongeal into this, again, blocky form that looks like it's an approximation of a Karnak.
Ooh.
And the voice is still coming from this form. It says,
large eyes, long, narrow face, small teeth.
Holds its arms out.
The scales are green and blue, mottled.
Elongates the fingers into 3 distinct...
Like a chameleon hand?
Yeah.
Kinda?
Kind of looks like a grabby.
It was connected to the one on the island. Did its bidding. Often,
Considers. Looks to Tuka then.
it has been to your friends out on the water.
Points out, into the distance. Sort of like not near Lighthouse, but sort of off to one side.
Also
And it points back in the general direction of the city, although you can't see the city from here.
Mm-hmm.
Your arena.
Yes?
It has been there frequently.
That's a good place to start. Did you overhear a name? Because if we get a name, we can start pulling up records.
No.
Probably going to be easier talking to your friends, Tuka, than going to the shard and just waiting for this fucker to show up.
It is prismatic, changing, growing, shaping itself. It will not be the same as the one you fought before.
Well, as long as he's got the same brain up there and knows where he stashed Silas, that's enough for me.
It nods.
I'm adaptable.
As are the prismae. The broken links can change, can grow, can become more or less, evolve or degenerate.
We have one. A broken link. We have one at the spire. And I think it's first, the brain that belonged in the body just got burnt right out of it. And it's just that energy now. I don't know how to help it. Can I? Is there anything I can do?
Bring it to me.
I can do that. Send me a moth when you want to meet up.
Where can you bring? When?
If we got them to the top of the spire, would you be able to get them from there?
Considers this.
Not inconspicuously.
Well, it doesn't have to be inconspicuously. Moths are just kind of around.
But they seldom gather in such enormous quantities.
Where would be best, then?
Somewhere away from prying eyes.
She looks at Tuka specifically. Do you know anywhere away from prying eyes?
I mean, there's plenty of places through the city. How prying we talking?
She looks back at Halarishi.
Shrugs.
It is easiest to transport out on the water, but I will make do. Take them to the lighthouse if you prefer.
How about we meet you there tomorrow night?
If you wish.
I just want to get it out of the spire. We can't help it.
If left to its own devices, perhaps, but I find it unlikely your people will leave it to that.
No. Oh, God, where did that Karnak stash Silas? He can't have stashed Silas underwater, he'd just be dead. What use would that be? Why not just kill him there? If he's just gonna drown him. Unless he has gills that I don't know about.
I mean, if they under the water, it could have killed him many a different way. You know, maybe there's somewhere we can... Maybe he's keeping him somewhere.
Do you mean he's still in the fucking bubble? She says, pointing a finger at him.
Looks at you, shakes its head.
No.
Thought I was onto something. Thought I stumbled onto a lead. She kicks a piece of garbage.
Is likely beneath the surface, cavernous, labyrinthine, deadly, dark deeps. As to why it has taken him, I cannot say. That would depend on the nature of what it has become.
Is your green friend down below gonna cause any issues?
Its form vibrates and the moths reshape themselves back into this humanoid adjacent form.
It is not my friend.
Acquaintance, then? Because, it said it was waiting for me and it remembered me. And I don't know, I've never met it before. But I'm kind of hesitant to be on the water even now. Because I don't know what that means.
You would do well to stay clear. On the water,
Looks out.
I do not know how far its influence reaches now. Is it a danger? Yes and no. I do not know what it wants any longer.
What did it want?
Symbiosis.
Huh. Is that what went wrong?
Yes. Do not trust what it offers you.
Oh, I'm just such a trusting person. She says, shrugging. Shouldn't be. All things considered.
If you value sacrifice and those who came before you, you will listen.
I will not seek it out, but I don't know what's gonna happen if it shows up ready to rumble. That's as much as I can promise. I can't just sit here knowing Isaac's out there somewhere in trouble and I can't help him.
He is not in trouble in the way that you would think. This is a decision He must make for himself a battle that no one can fight for him.
It's not fighting for him so much as providing support.
It shrugs.
Perhaps. Could just as easily make things worse. Hard to say.
I can't have him think I just abandoned him.
Would you like me to pass along a message?
Yes.
I will do so.
She still has that journal that's not hers, so I think she's going to flip to the end of it and scribble out a little note and tears it out and hands it to the moth hand.
Stares down at the paper and says,
I was thinking more of a verbal note, but I will try.
He'd be suspicious if it wasn't in my handwriting. Anybody can pass along a verbal message.
shrugs and says,
Yes, I understand that very well.
Thank you.
make me a notice.
4.
You can hear the water sloshing a little bit. From a direction that is not the wall of the cavern, you can hear sort of a trickle of water coming closer.
Oh no. I think she goes over to that side of the boat immediately to look.
If you make a point of going over and looking, you can see there is a small rowboat drifting closer with a dark form paddling it. Getting closer.
She holds up one finger and looks over her shoulder before she teleports directly into the rowboat.
Okay, go ahead and teleport.
I need to Benny that, I suppose.
Okay.
Out of Bennies. 8.
You're just teleporting into the rowboat.
Yep. I would like her to crackle back into her form, sitting down on a seat across from the rower, very casual.
As your energy crackles back together and you materialize on this little rowboat, you are sitting across from what looks to be an Ori man with vibrant red eyes and a mess of combed back red hair. He wears fatigues and armor with tears and holes in them, and he looks familiar to you. Probably one of the mercenaries that you hired a couple days ago. But now that you're sitting right in front of him, it's impossible to not notice the crackling red energy that flows just beneath the surface of his skin, pulsating and alive, just brimming with it. And his what appeared to be vibrant red eyes are just complete red energy.
She did not expect that.
Yeah, so as you coalesce into the boat, the figure stops rowing for a second, looks at you and says,
Oh, hey kid, how's it going?
It's you.
It's me.
and rows a couple more times, getting you back towards the barge.
This is a little more forward than I expected. Ruined the dramatic reveal.
Sorry, I love to just cut the rug out right out from under people. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
And bumps the boat up against the barge, pushes himself out of it to stand on it, and holds a hand down to you.
She slaps it out of the way, climbs back on herself,
Ooh, frisky.
shakes her head with a very pinched look.
As you climb out of the boat with this guy, Halarishi poofs again, and this time reappears in midair, like 10 or 20 feet up. Same form, but it's moving a lot more now. Maybe some of the moths from the wall come over to join the form and sort of make it bigger. So still the same general shape, but now it's bigger, and the edges of his form are flapping to stay in the air,
That's
sort
cool.
of.
I like that.
That is. And he's standing there in his worn fatigues and armor, looking around, looks up to the floating orange form in the sky, waves a nonchalant hand.
Hey, well, figured we're all here. We can have a nice little chat, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. What's your name? What's your fucking deal? How'd you know where I was gonna be? She's retreated back to her friends.
Sure.
Not her friend zone.
Yeah, so it's you and Tuka, and Zadal has his pistol out. Tuka has one hand on the hilt of her Kori blade, and Halarishi is hovering up in the air. This form is now standing on the opposite side of the barge from you guys.
Come on, you know my name. Say it. Come on.
No,
Come on. You know what it is.
I don't think I do.
Okay, that's fine. I'll wait. I'm patient.
Halarishi up above just says,
Parasite.
No, I made that connection, thank you. She just says over her shoulder, not looking away.
Speak not the name.
Wasn't gonna.
the form in front of you says,
Well, your buddy here was kind enough to send me a beacon. Easy enough to find. But, I don't really feel like talking to you right now. So maybe this is just between me and the lady.
He waves a hand in the air, and there's an enormous gout of fire that bursts upward and burns all the moths to a crisp.
Oh, jeez.
In midair, yeah.
And her note. That makes her far angrier than all the moths dying.
All the moths that were on the wall and stuff, the orange light ripples and flickers, and they shimmer in the darkness, but nothing else happens immediately. And then he looks back to you and says,
Oh, that's better.
What do you want?
That is a loaded question. You know me, I'm just a simple gal, trying to make a name, trying to make a splash. Isn't that what we all want? To be known, to be remembered.
Honestly, nah, man.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, you like this?
he
Shakes out the skin.
Yeah. Fits me pretty well, huh?
Yeah, it's very slimming.
Thank you.
gives you a little wink. You feel Zadal shift angrily behind you.
Why are we talking to this clown?
Oh, because they came to talk.
Yeah, buddy, just hang on there, little boy blue.
Behind her back, puts a steady, like, the back of her hand on his shoulder, maybe, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
So, where's your other buddy?
Oh, which other buddy?
You know, Hakeem.
Maybe you know better than I do.
Well, maybe. But it would be real nice if you told me.
I don't know where he is.
Okay.
I don't, or I'd be there right now.
You know, I believe that. That's fair. How about we trade? You find out where he is, you take me to him, or you bring him to me, and, we just forget about this whole mess you've made.
What whole mess? She says, standing in a garbage barge.
Penny for that. That's good.
Oh, come on. You're on the wrong team, kid. I know you want more. You just want your friends to be safe, right? Happy, able to do their own thing, not choked by the oppression of, whoever.
I mean, sure, that sounds very nice, but seems to me like you just want to, eat the city.
Well, it just looks so tasty.
It's not really in my best interest to let you do that.
The city's fine. The it'll do fine. I'm not too worried about that.
I think it can surprise you.
Regardless, you're batting on the losing team.
Isn't that what someone would say to you if you were on the cusp of figuring out something real good and then just wiping the floor with them? Why would you be interested in me if I'm not a good switch hitter to have on a team? I don't know about sports, she says, very frustrated.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. No, I mean, that's why I told you you're on the wrong team, because you should be on the winning team.
Why don't you make me an offer? She says, idly, just wondering what bullshit they're gonna spout.
I don't know, I think red suits you a little bit better than purple, don't you? It's a very fetching color, especially on a lady of your complexion.
Oh, thanks.
Eyes you up and down.
It's gross. This fucker in Zaxby Zadar. She is so, stonewalled against this bullshit.
Here's the reality. You're way deeper than you think you are, but you just don't know where it's gonna end up.
I know we live underground, but it's a bit on the nose, huh?
He shrugs.
What were you doing with Strickland?
Persuasion at -2.
Nah.
Wouldn't you like to know?
I'm not that interested. He's already dead.
Come on, take my hand. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Come on.
No, you kind of look like you're just gonna flake right off onto me.
Oh, well, granted, this isn't the newest model. It's just what I had in the area. Still, though, I like the red. That's pretty good.
Again, maybe a bit on the nose.
Runs a hand through his hair.
Come on, we all got style we like. Harlan liked red. He was a red and black kind of guy.
I'm more of a yellow and black person myself.
Yellow? Ooh, you don't seem like the yellow type to me.
She just tinks on her badge on her belt.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess that one makes sense then.
Yeah. Remember how she was thirsty before? She's bone dry now.
Sure.
She's got nothing.
Speaking of yellow, though, you've seen it, haven't you?
Oh, seen what?
One of my little buddies.
Your little pals.
One of my little pals. Just, running around, doing who knows what. I can't have that. I'm gonna fall in line. So tell you what, you get me a conversation with Hakim, and I'll help you find your Oculus. That's who we took, isn't it? Oh, you don't want to see what happens next.
Oh. She looks at Tuka and Zadal, just in the flashlight glow.
Zadal's expression is always hard to read because he's got a metal face.
Right. He's got emotive eyes, though.
He's got emotive
eyes. He can move
eyes.
his eyebrow plates.
Yeah, his eyes are narrowed. The swirling smoke within is moving very quickly, so obviously his mind is racing, and Tuka still just looks concerned and confused.
Every moment you wait, things get a little bit worse. Good luck finding him.
Up above you, there are some moths that are swirling in a cloud that start to form back together. The guy in front of you goes, "Whoop!" aims a finger gun up in the air and sprays another gout of fire in the darkness that just crispens these moths, and they drift to the ground, flakes of ash. And he holds his finger up, which is smoking, goes, and blows it.
Ooh, that was fun.
She's very irritated by that. That's too close to home for her.
He sees that.
Oh, what? Come on, you don't own that.
And he puts it down by his hip and pretends to fan the hammer.
Oh my god.
Wow.
You're a lot goofier than I thought you'd be, to be quite frank.
Goofy? I'm just living the best I can. This world's got a lot to offer, and I'm gonna run through all of it.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Why?
People need a modicum of restraint in their lives.
I'm not people.
You're sure. What are you? Let's start there.
Pats himself.
I'm whatever you want me to be.
I want you to be answers, she says, crackling with static.
Oh, come on. What do you want to know? Come on, good. Hit me with your best shot.
Why do you hate those moths so much?
Oh, what, Rishi?
Yeah.
He's a self-righteous prick. Thinks he's better than I am.
Is he?
No.
He acts, he's like genuinely affronted and shocked that you would even suggest that.
Of course he's not.
How would you know?
Just a regular persuade for that one.
5.
Oh, well, me and Rishi, we go back. Way back.
Like way back, and she does an overzealous wink at him.
He bobs his eyebrows at that and says,
Am I on the right track with that?
Let's just say we got a lot in common. Common ground.
What are you guys? What are you? I know you live here. So do I, though. So I feel like got the right to know.
Go ahead and, that's gonna be at a -6.
Fuck. God damn it.
Oh, you could use your conviction. Oh.
I don't have it. I'll spend this Benny so I can't soak when he ices me shortly. Nah.
A right to know. You don't have a right to know anything. You barely have a right to live down here.
I lived here my whole life. I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been here longer.
Sure. Your whole life, probably. But we're square on that, right? Shrugs. It's a bad argument. She's just trying to get him to talk more.
Well, as much as I love these face-to-face chats, I think I'm about done, so you go find Hakim, and if you bring him to me, or maybe you just lead me to him, whatever, I don't care, it doesn't matter. End result. End justifies the means, yada yada.
Why do you want him?
Something of a collector.
That sucks, dude. That sucks so fucking hard. He's a person.
Yeah, I know.
She's just standing there so angry, shaking her head. She's all crackles right now.
Oh, you met Harlan, okay? Harlan did very well for himself. Hakim can do just the same.
Why do you give a fuck? What is it about these goddamn brothers that is so interesting to you?
Oh, there's just so many of them, and they're so tough. Ooh.
I think there's only 2 left. Seems directly because of you.
Oh, come on, you gonna dredge that up now?
Yes.
What did Rishi tell you?
Nothing.
Oh, come on. Oh,
Nothing
actually,
helpful. Nothing good.
You know what? I do believe that.
Very vague about everything.
He turns to yell at the wall.
Oh, you hear that, Rishi? She doesn't like you.
I don't like a lot of people these days.
Yeah, a lot of that going around, huh?
So Isaac's the last one on your little collection trophy shelf. You already got everyone else all rounded up into your little bullshit.
Persuade at -2.
Nope.
Well, I'm always looking to expand.
Sometimes enough's, it's all good. Sometimes you get lost in your things. You gotta take a minimalist approach. You gotta downsize. She's just spouting shit she heard when she was doing all that Pantheon paperwork. She watched a lot of home improvement shows.
He has a very pitying expression as he looks at you.
I know what I want. I know what I'm about. It's a big world out there. Lots to see and do.
But you're gonna hurt people to do that?
I mean, that's not really the goal. It just sort of happens. So tell you what, I know what I want. How about when you figure out what you want, you let me know. And in the meantime, well, we'll just see where the night takes us. Plenty of nights.
If I were so inclined to be in contact, how would I go about that?
How about you go and stand on that little balcony of yours, and you just shout my name real loud?
Nah,
That seems like the easiest way.
I don't think so.
Oh, come on. Just say it once. Come on.
Makes a zippering motion on her mouth.
Ooh, I love it when they play hard to get.
Oh, I bet you do.
You'll come around. They always do.
I'm already in pretty deep with a different faction. Can't really turn coat when I don't know what's going on. Unless you have some information for me.
Nothing for free.
Naturally, nothing for free.
You figure out what that's worth to you and let's talk.
Maybe later, bud.
Maybe.
Probably not, though.
Oh, don't say that.
Is there still a dude in there, or is it just you?
That's going to be persuade at -2. No. Hues starting to turn away back to the boat, and he pauses and looks back and he says,
What, if I say no, you gonna shoot me?
and then he sort of moves his arms like he's about to start running. Like,
Fuck.
ooh, oh.
God damn it.
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
I mean, you keep talking about getting me to switch teams, but you seem to like purple plenty already from how much you were helping out Olivier.
His smile changes a little bit. It's not like it falls, and he doesn't look smugger. It's thoughtful.
Where'd you pick that up anyway?
Would you like to know?
I would. That would be juicy.
Would be juicy, wouldn't it? I've already told one person today I'm about at my limit.
Oh, what? You told Rishi?
Hey, you can't have it all, man. I know you want it all, but...
I want it all!
Puts his hands out just like,
Ugh. Oh, okay, alright, okay, alright,
Gosh, that's gotta be frustrating for you, huh? Maybe
well.
I have some info you want.
Oh, I don't want it that bad.
Not right now.
Yeah, well, I can still go about getting it plenty other ways. Might not be as direct, but...
Might not be.
Oh man, I bet you're just so curious where it comes from.
Yes, I am.
Oh, looks like the tables have turned.
Can't turn a table if it's already flipped.
Maybe you haven't seen anything yet. All this has just been hors d'oeuvres. The feast. The feast is waiting, and it's gonna be juicy.
Athena can relate to this want of feasts, but...
conceptually, I get it.
I mean, you're just gonna eat everything up, right? You're never gonna be satisfied with whatever you... That's the thing, right? You get more power. It's never enough. You get more money. You need more. You get in deep. It's not gonna stop.
Taps a finger on his chin thoughtfully.
You know, I don't know what I'm gonna want tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day, or the next millennia, or however long it takes. But right now, I know what I want. And you know what? I'm gonna get it.
Good fucking luck.
Thank
You're
you.
gonna need it.
Maybe here and there, but overall, still feeling pretty good about my odds. This is fun. We should talk more. What are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, wouldn't you know it? Busy. Booked up. Fuck off.
Shame. Oh, okay. I thought this was going pretty well, but
You're not a people person, are you?
I'm a lot of people. But I am one person.
Right now.
There's only one of me, baby.
Good to know. You take this barge guy? Dude was driving this? Was that you?
What, me? No, I just got here. I got here after you.
You haven't been giving people spooky little dreams about eyes?
Not me.
That's
Does that
troubling.
sound like something I would do? Come on.
It kind of fits your MO. You body snatching bitch.
Hey, to be fair, this was just lying around. Nobody was using it.
So it's dead?
Yeah.
Gross.
I mean, I'm in here, so it's not... Kind of depends on what your definition of dead is, right?
I guess.
Body still works.
Wiggles his arm.
Does it make any
doesn't
worrying noises?
No, it's just...
She gets just a little bit nauseous at that.
Yeah, I mean, all the parts are still here. It just, wasn't a driver.
Well, I guess that might be what happened in the Spire, too, so she can't really point fingers about that. So that was a fun little message you sent me. A lot of name drops. How did you know Joel?
He gives you a real coy smirk.
Oh, we go way back.
I don't believe that, somehow.
Is it really so unbelievable?
I don't think he would hang out with a dirtbag like you, to be quite frank.
Relationships change over time, don't they? We all grow into more of who we are. Get new chances, opportunities. As long as you're still alive.
Yep.
Yup.
He pauses and stares at you real hard for a while.
You really don't know anything, do you?
That's what people keep telling me, so I have to assume at a certain point either it's true or I'm being gaslit.
Probably a bit of both, right?
I assume you're gonna tantalize me with offers of knowledge and growth and answers.
I could, but honestly, things are pretty great right now. This is going pretty good. So, I already made you an offer. You're playing on the wrong team. If you wanna slide on over to my end, you know how to reach me. You know what I want. I want Hakeem. I mean, if you wanna slide in a side order of you telling your friends about me, I wouldn't say no.
Well, I'll take your offer under consideration. But she makes a motion like she's crumpling up a paper, tossing it over her shoulder.
Oh, well, I can't say that's unexpected, but still just a little disappointing.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
He shrugs. Doesn't seem too bothered.
Now, sure, I could stand here and monologue for ages, but I don't think I'm that dumb.
Oh, you never know.
Gives you a wink with his bright red eyes, and then takes a step into the rowboat.
Quick question. What is the rowboat made out of?
It's wood.
But wouldn't you know it, she does have wizard. Would I be able to shape a hole in it? She doesn't want to shape just one big hole. She wants to use like a cheese grater. Just like many little holes, so he sinks very slowly.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll to shape wood.
9.
Success with a raise costs you an extra power point.
I'm fine with that.
I'm saying this is going to cost your base shape metal cost +1 because this is not your superpower
But
ability.
-1 is it's a raise.
So you're just perforating this wood with all the little holes.
With how her metal shaping has changed, she's gotten a better sense of how to do it more easily.
Mm-hmm.
She just looks and squints down at it, and her eyes get a little bit purple, and she just snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these little plugs just fly up into the air, pelt him in the face
Like
a little
as
bit.
he's stepping into the water.
After he started to row away a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
She makes a hand signal for her team to join her at the side of the boat so they can watch him sink.
Okay. Then let me ask you, at what point do you do this?
I want him to have been rowing for a minute, maybe.
Well, I'll give you a Benny for doing that.
Oh, thank
So you
you.
can take a Benny. As you do that, you just get a long shot of watching this person rowing away and then slowly sink into the water. As that happens, lets out this incensed scream of rage, jumps straight up in the air, arms out at his side, spraying fire behind him,
Fuck.
using it to rocket into the air, and then hovers back towards the barge.
Oh no. That's not great.
In the air above you,
Athena takes a step back. Oh, I thought that would... Nope, this was a bad idea. We need to leave.
it's floating up above now, and the energy streaks coursing through its body are sort of pulsating brighter and brighter, and its voice comes out louder.
Oh, you think that was funny, do you?
Yep. Goodbye! And she runs to her bike.
Okay, I think that's going to be initiative. Athena, king of clubs, mysterious individual, ace of clubs.
Okay, but we know it's Ali Sahir, though. Out of character, I could say this name, perhaps.
You can, but I'm not going to confirm anything because you didn't confirm anything. Who's to say? Tuka and Zadal are going to be falling under the buddy action
Sounds
card.
good.
This shadowy, mysterious
figure.
individual. To be fair, no shadows so far. Compared to what you've seen in a lot of these other things, none of that weird dark energy. It's an Ori person with these red veins of energy and bright red eyes.
Gotcha.
There's no pupils. It's just, a red eye. So this person hovering in the air by means of fire. So you've turned to run towards your bike.
Yep.
And it is going to attack your bike.
Damn.
Both the bikes, actually.
That sucks.
Yeah. 6 is a success. How far away from your bike are you standing at this point? Because it had been covered by the moths, which I think are still on it. Those didn't disappear yet. And you had been trying to shoo them off the bike when Halarishi appeared.
She had since walked over to the edge of the barge.
And where are the bikes in relation to the edge of the
They're just
barge?
kind of in the middle.
In the middle? Okay. Let's see how this goes. So he is casting Havoc
Okay.
as a cone template. Were your bikes like right next to each other?
Yeah, they probably were.
I probably should have clarified all this.
No,
first,
they almost assuredly were parked right next to each other.
Okay. Then this is going to target both of those bikes, and it pushes them a total of... It's 2d6 inches, with each inch being 5 feet. He rolled a 7. So they're
Ooh.
pushed 35 feet. I think that pushes them off the barge.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so he gestures down with one hand. You watch fiery energy coalesce in his hand and then explodes outwards, and it's less fire than it is just raw force. So there are some flames that lick out, but it's like a concussive burst in the air that throws these things clear off the barge and into the dark water.
Jesus.
As he does that, he just laughs again. How you gonna get home now?
Athena doesn't know, but it is her turn.
It is Athena's turn.
Well, Athena's just straight up trying to damage this fucker as much as humanly possible right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what she's gonna do is cast a bolt, upcast for damage, and add a fatigue penalty onto it.
Okay. Worth noting here, I did clarify for the power modifiers. It hasn't come up again. Power modifiers last for the duration of the spell or until the end of the target's next turn in the case of instant powers. So
Okay.
Bolt is an instant power. It'll basically give him fatigue for 1 round, which
That could be enough.
which is still good.
Could be
But
enough.
like at the end of season 1 during the Troya fight, I had it ride the entire time, which had a pretty significant impact, and I'm fine with. But that was my goobering it up for not realizing.
Gotcha. Okay. I think for now I'll just do the 1 turn of fatigue.
Okay. So you're upcasting for damage and fatigue.
Yeah, so
it's
fatigue's +2, right?
Fatigue is +2 and damage is +2, so you're at 5.
Yes. All right, here we go. 6.
Success. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Surely can. Woof. That's probably not enough. I don't know.
What'd you roll?
8.
If you would like to re-roll your damage, you may.
I feel like I might need my Benny. I'll keep that damage.
Okay. So he is shaken and fatigued.
She is so utterly incensed that he destroyed her bike that she just got back after all these fucking years. Her autonomy, Athena, in her rage, breathes deep and quickly and out, and on her exhale, lightning crackles from her mouth and she gathers it like a breath in her hand that she whips like a baseball pitch at this figure in the sky and just watches it cascade around the impact in his chest.
The bolt strikes in the center of his chest and washes over him, and he staggers back in the air just a little bit, but maintains his flight trajectory.
Could she use her item interaction to toss a shield to Zadal? Because
Sure.
he's so little.
Yeah, sure.
She just whips it out of her left hand, maybe.
Okay.
Tosses it in his general direction. Hope he catches it.
Gotcha.
Probably
Okay.
won't, but
Well, then the next turn is your buddies. So Zadal catches the shield that you've tossed to him. What kind of shield did you throw at him?
it's a medium shield. Plus
Medium
2
shield.
parry.
Okay.
Minus 2 cover. But what she'd like to do with the buddy action is look for Tuka and say, I need the robe in the bikes, in the compartment. Can you get it?
The robe, okay. Forgot that was in there.
I did not.
Very good. That would have been bad. So Zadal catches the shield with a whoop, and he's holding the pistol, like he catches the shield with both hands, holding the pistol, and the one sort of clumsily, like, how do I hold all these armaments? As Tuka's glancing around feverishly, and you speak to her in your commanding tone.
Yeah.
And with her wide eyes, she nods to you and takes a step back while looking up this guy in the sky before leaping off into the water to dive down after the bike, and she disappears beneath the surface with a ripple and a shimmer of her scales.
Nice.
Let's treat Tuka's thing as a separate dramatic task. She can make rolls for getting that. I don't think it needs to be too difficult because you're acting right away. So like the bike just went into the water. She can presumably swim faster than that. Let's do an athletics for Tuka.
That sounds good.
And I'll say once she gets 3 successes in total, she will be able to get that and pull it back up.
What's her athletics?
Athletics is a D8. I did give her a D8. Would you like to roll for Tuka?
Sure.
She needs 3 successes in total.
6.
Okay, that's 1. So, Athena, you have a 4 of clubs, Shadow Man, Parasite, we'll just call him Parasite, 5 of clubs, and your buddy, Joker.
Hell yeah, I'll
So
take this Benny
You
back.
get a Benny, yes.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank your buddies.
I will.
You get to act now.
Tuka probably still in the water. She's doing her thing.
So they have a Joker. They get a +2 to everything they do.
Right.
And they can act at any point in the turn order. They can go first if you want, or if you want them to wait for you to do something, that's fine too.
She looks over to Zadal and back up at the figure in the sky.
His body is bristling with this red energy that you can see in the folds of his clothing, and he's got these jets of fire emanating from his hand, and that's how he's staying aloft. Flickers of flame that run across his body occasionally.
Gotcha. She looks at Zadal, points in the parasite general direction. She's like, can you mess up his brain?
I can try.
She gives him a thumbs up and hunkers behind her own shield.
What are you wanting him to do? So
I was thinking confusion.
Confusion makes sense. Well, Zadal has a D10 in psionics.
Ah, damn.
Confusion confounds a target, making them both distracted and vulnerable if they fail a smarts roll. So Zadal needs to roll to activate. If you want to go ahead and roll. It's a D10 and a D6.
4. Oh, wait, he has fatigue. Doesn't he?
Oh, you mean Zadal?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, he's at a -2, I think. You can have a Benny for calling me on that, for reminding me.
Well, I would like to immediately use it with my common bond.
Okay. Sure.
It's a fun edge.
And don't forget your buddies do have a Benny as well.
Oh, I know. I'm just trying to work through mine first.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll. Thank you for calling me on that. Also, you're at a -1 because
Am I?
orange stuff is still around.
Is it?
There's still orange like on the cavern wall behind you. It was on the
The
bikes.
bikes did get blasted away,
That's
though.
true, and all the moths went fluttering into the air. So
All right, this would still be a 4 then, because the plus and -2 would cancel out.
yes, okay, so that
Beautiful.
rides. Very good. Unfortunately, he rolled a 5, which is a
Shit.
success. For some reason, it's not contested. It's just for confusion specifically. They roll to cast confusion, and then the person rolls to resist with their smarts against like a flat 4. You see Zadal hunker down and squint in concentration, faint bristling of energy next to you. Up above you, the form shakes their head rapidly and fixates on Zadal. Oh no, that's not gonna work with me, bud.
Ugh.
And is now his turn. And he is shaken, so he needs to unshake. He gets a 4, but he has fatigue. So he does not unshake, which means I need to spend one of his bennies. I will spend 1 benny to let him act. And his fatigue lasts until the end of this turn.
Yes.
I think he focuses on Zadal now.
That's not great.
Yeah, because you had him try to do stuff.
Right.
He hovers in the air, drifting just a little bit closer to Zadal. Oh boy, I hope you guys can swim. He's gonna try to cast something.
Ugh.
5 minus 1 is 4, which is a success. And he is upcasting this for damage. It's a 13. Okay. So there's a moment where he blasts his fire a little bit more and he rises up into the air, gathers energy in his hand, and slams it downwards in this glowing molten cylinder that just shoots down from the sky, almost like a column of molten fire
Oof.
that erupts around Zadal and also bores a hole in the barge.
That's
So there's
wicked
just,
bad.
Yeah, there's just a flash of brilliant light. Zadal completely disappears in this blast, and you hear him cry out in pain. A shocked, like, "Oh,
No!
the flames disappear, and Zadal is there, standing on a floating hunk of metal that is dripping away, and he collapses forward back onto the barge, but you can see the damage has been done, and now there's an enormous hole in the barge,
Ah,
which begins
fuck.
to fill with water. Let's resolve damage on Zadal. I didn't think that was actually going to do enough to bore through the barge.
Yeah, it's
because
pretty
of-
wild. Oh, Athena's made some very bad calls.
So Zadal, his vigor's a D4.
Yep.
So, also worth noting, the reason it was able to bore through the barge is because he spent power modifiers to make it a heavy weapon,
Okay.
which goes through, like, more armor and shit.
Gotcha.
I don't know that Zadal has any armor on.
He probably wouldn't have, but he does have the shield.
He does have the shield. Doesn't help him here. Unfortunately, it's an area of effect attack, so it doesn't help him.
Jeez.
So he's taking 2 wounds here. Would you like him to
I
try
would
to
love him to
soak with his 1 Benny?
Yes.
Okay. It's a 4. So he successfully soaks 1
That'll
wound.
have to do for now.
Zadal sort of flails wildly in the midst of this inferno, and then once it's dissipated, you can see that much of his coat has been charred and blackened, even, beyond the normal black.
Right.
And his metal frame, in places, the material looks more liquid, almost runny,
Ooh.
and he just collapses forward for a moment and catches himself with 1 hand and is heaving on the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
Up above, the floating fireman, the parasite, drifts back down as the flames sputter back to life and shakes his hands out a little bit and say, "Ooh, that was a big one." And Athena, it is now your turn.
Athena immediately runs over to put herself between them. Pretty fucking incensed, because she doesn't like any of her friends getting hurt on her watch, but least of all Zadal right now.
Sure.
So, she's gonna do the same thing she tried last turn, but with feeling.
So you're gonna bolt upcast for damage, add fatigue.
You know what? She's not gonna do the fatigue this time. She needs to funnel some high damage attacks into this fucko.
Okay.
Actually, could she multi-action?
Sure.
Could she taunt and upcast bolt at the same time?
Yeah. You want to do taunt first?
I want to roll taunt first, and then roll bolt, and then to do it all as one thing.
Then yeah, taunt is, so it's going to be a -2 penalty because you're multi-actioning and you do get your -1 because of the orange.
This probably isn't gonna work, but I gotta try.
Yeah, I exploding dice. You never know, and this is a
Jesus.
contested roll, so he could always roll real bad anyway.
That's true. Well, I rolled real bad. I didn't even break.
10.
No, I rolled a -1.
Oh god.
It's a bad one. 5 for bolt.
At your -3.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh no, I'm almost out of power points.
Yeah. So the benefit there is that it doesn't go off, so you only lose 1 power point for failing to cast that.
Yeah. She's trying to run over and say something and bolt at the same time, but I think she sees a moth flutter, like it touches her neck or something, and she just loses all of it, says nothing, and lightning explodes in a completely different direction.
Gotcha.
And she has failed utterly.
Oh jeez.
But she's in a different place than she was before.
That's true.
That's her
Okay.
turn.
All right. Well, a joker was drawn, so we shuffle. Athena, 4 of diamonds. Mysterious stranger, 3 of diamonds. Buddies, 2 of diamonds.
Jesus.
What? All right, Athena, you get to act first.
Her immediate concern was not her one last turn. It is the water seeping into the barge.
Uh-huh.
So she would like to spend this entire turn closing that hole.
Okay. Using your
My metal manipulation.
metal manipulation. I think within the confines of what we've established, that's probably okay on its own. I don't know that I should require a roll.
Basically, she was just going to rip the roof off of the cabin and cinch it into place.
Gotcha. Okay, I think if you're taking your turn to do that, then that's fine. If it's just like meant to be a temporary fix to not let too much more water,
yeah.
I think that's fine. I think like
it's not a good fix. It's just a quirk.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm not going to ask for a roll on that because you can just do that with your power. You can smush it there, and then if you wanted to like actually repair it, I would probably call for something. But for the time being, if you're just blocking a hole, then I think that's okay.
She does that, ripping it off in a clean motion.
So you shear the top off of the cabin and then use that to plug up this hole?
Yep. In a whirl, she just slams it down. And
yeah, and this is a pretty big hole in terms of everything, so I think it takes the entire roof of the cabin to do that.
Probably.
All right, is that all you're doing?
Yes.
He's going to multi-action, and he's going to use the first action to taunt you.
Yep, sounds right.
He's probably going to use the second action to try to blast you and or Zadal off of the barge.
Okay.
Here's the first one. So taunt. This is going to be contested. It's contested by your smarts. We'll stick with that. I have a 7.
I have a 4.
So that is going to be a success,
Yeah.
which means he can make you distracted or vulnerable. I think he's going to make you vulnerable. So as he's drifting up there, he just starts laughing again, and he says, "Oh man, this is easy. Oh, this is such a weak body. Oh." How does that, like, get under your skin, specifically? Like, do you...
She's just still very focused on Zadal behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got a very weak body, too.
Yeah.
I think her nostrils just flare as she looks back up, but maybe not fast enough.
Gotcha. And multi-actioning, he is going to try to cast his Havoc. Ooh, 4 and a 1 is not good enough. Benny that. 4 and a 2 is not good enough. I got a Benny. 7 minus 2 is a 5. That is good enough. Anyone touched by the Havoc template is distracted and must then make a save.
Fuck.
A strength roll. So you are... Alright, so you are distracted. So
Yes.
you're minus 2. And I need you to make a strength roll.
I surely can
So it's-
try.
Minus 2 because you're distracted, minus 1 because of your fear.
I spend a Benny.
Okay,
Just one.
okay.
Worse!
And I need you to roll for Zadal as well.
Yeah, what's his strength?
What do you think it
It's
is?
a 4.
It's a d4. So his is going to be at... He's got minus 2 for fatigue, minus 2 distracted, minus 1 wound. So he's at minus 5.
Fuck. There is no way.
I don't know.
No.
Oof.
Do we both go in the drink? Are we both in the soup?
Well, we're going to see. You guys were still kind of in the middle where the bikes were, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to roll 2d6. From how I ruled it before, I rolled a 7, which is like 35 feet, which I think is a pretty long way to toss somebody. I think if this is a 6 or more, you guys are going overboard.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I rolled 2 1s.
Oh.
I rolled a 1 and a 1.
Ah.
So, that sucks. I don't have any more bennies. I used all my bennies. The parasite lands a couple feet in front of you guys, claps his hands together in another one of those concussive bursts, but for whatever reason, the shockwave that comes out only buffets you back a little bit. Maybe you do manage to dig in just a little bit, so you only get tossed back a few feet. So you're like 15 to 20 feet from the edge right now.
If I may, Athena just says, performance issues happens to everyone.
Alrighty, buddy action.
Buddy action. Oh, God. She needs Tuka to get back to the boat, but she's already doing a thing. So I guess I'm rolling for whatever Tuka's doing, unless that's an ongoing, sustained thing.
It is a sustained thing, but I'm ruling that you need to use your buddy action to make progress on that.
Okay,
Or
I will
at least
do
have
that.
it be dramatically appropriate.
I will do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll for Tuka. D8 athletics. You need 2 more successes.
1 success.
What'd you roll?
A 4.
A 4? Okay. Alrighty. Athena, 8 of spades. Parasite, king of clubs. Buddies, Joker.
Whoa!
Again.
Hot damn!
Go ahead and get your Benny. Do you want your buddies to act first, or do you want to save their action?
I want to save their action.
Okay, he's gonna go then.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
And fatigue is gone. He's gonna try to cast Havoc again. I know it's not super original, but he really wants to put you in the water.
No, I mean, I get it.
It's a 1 and a 5. He is not multi-actioning, and he does not have any penalties currently, so that is a success.
Shit, okay. I will make these strength
Go ahead,
rolls.
you're still, it's the same thing as last time. You're at a -3, Zadal's at a -5.
Nope, Athena fails. So does Adal.
Okay. And you guys have your bennies.
But we might need to soak for death.
That is possible.
So I'm not gonna.
All right. So I'm going to roll these 2d6 again. This time it needs to be a 4 total or higher, because last time he got 2, and I said that he needed 6 to push you off. It's a 4 and a 2. That's 6 total. You shout this at him, and he's shaking his hands off. You know, just they're steaming a little bit. There's just smoke coming up from him. He says, "Ooh, let me try again." And then he claps them together, and this time he gets that extra oomph behind it, and you and Zadal are blasted through the air, end over end. From your first-person perspective, you watch all these colors swirl, and then you tumble end over end, the world spinning, lights flashing by, until you are submerged with a splash of icy cold.
Oh, that's wonderful.
As you guys are flying, you hear Zadal going, "Ugh!"
I don't think Athena makes a noise, because every time she makes a noise, as in talking, things get worse. Is it Athena's turn? Yeah, she needs to try and secure Zadal before she knows if he needs to do it on his own.
You got tossed.
Pretty
He
far.
rolled a 6, which is 30 feet. So he
that's-
tossed
he
you
would be
30
anywhere
feet,
close to
and you
there.
were 15 feet from the edge. So you're currently like 15 feet into the water.
Probably still underwater.
Probably not super deep right now. I would rule that you're within 5 feet of the surface.
Okay.
So, like, you could use your movement in the water to swim over towards the barge. Movement in water. Each inch of movement spent climbing, crawling, or swimming uses 2 inches. So you're moving at half speed while you're in the water.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you could use your entire movement and you would be able to get back to the barge and be on the edge there, but you would not be able to take Zadal with you. Because Zadal either needs to move on his own or you need to take him with you, and that further reduces your speed.
All right, she's going to do the further reduced speed because she's not going to leave him out there.
Okay.
She's not doing that.
All of your movement is, you can just do that. That doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
What do you want to do?
Ain't that the question? Her plan is to get back to the side of the barge and then wait for him to leave. Maybe he just thinks they're dead. I don't know.
Okay.
Not a good plan.
So you can use running as an action. That's something you can still do in the water, as far as I know.
Okay, so that would get me to the barge, right?
You'd have to roll for it, but I mean, basically, yeah. So if you're moving with Zadal, it's half your speed. I'd be generous and say you could move like the equivalent of 2 pace that way. And
Okay.
if you want to run, you roll your running die and add that.
Yeah, I'll roll my running die. That seems like the appropriate thing to do, because she's
Okay.
not wanting to fire off lightning in water.
Sure. As you only need to get 15 feet to get back to the barge, any result on your running die would get you there.
Okay.
So you don't even need to roll for it if you don't want to.
I kind of want to.
Go ahead. And it doesn't blow up.
3.
Your total pace would have been 2 plus 3 halved, which would have been like, I probably would have rounded up and just said a 3 in total, which is what you needed anyway, so.
They both tumble into the water, and she's having some big-time trouble figuring out where everybody is underwater until she sees his eyes, because they glow.
Yeah.
Easy enough to find at that point. Takes her shield back, so she just carries it as a bracer, so he's not sinking further. And just tries to hustle underwater as far as her little lungs can take her.
Oh, you're staying underwater?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like coming up.
No.
So you're taking Zadal and going back to the barge, but remaining underwater.
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because he probably doesn't need to breathe, she's thinking. She'll need to go up eventually, but this is still a 6-second round,
Sure.
so...
Yeah. As you said, you can definitely find Zadal without much trouble. His glowing blue circuitry highlighting him in the darkness of this murky water. And you reach out, and he's responsive. He feels you touch him, and he'll let go of the shield, and you start to haul him to move with you, and he starts kicking with you, and you guys push back in the direction that you're going. And before long, you're able to touch the barge. You feel it. You know that it's there.
Sinks her fingers into the side of it,
Very cool.
like she melts it into a handhold.
Oh, yeah.
Her shield's gone. They're both bracers, and she just sinks her little fingers right into there like a claw.
I like that.
And she's holding her breath so hard.
Yeah. And now it's your buddy action.
Buddy action, I just need Tuca to finish that shit up.
You may roll and you get a +2 because it's a joker.
Thank God I needed it. It's a 4.
That is a success. I don't think you get anything out of Tuca that round, but she will have done that down there. So at this point, your goal is to just wait.
Yes.
Okay. Athena, 8 of clubs. Your special parasite friend, Ace of hearts. And Buddy's 2 of diamonds. What happens here is You can hear muffled stuff underwater still, so nothing that you can make out that is distinct, but you can hear a lot of raucous shouting from up above, muffled and modulated by the
briny depths.
Yeah, the briny depths. Yes, the salty water that surrounds you. And it's a 4. Something. Okay. Some more shouting, and then another cacophonous boom, and the darkness of the water is illuminated by another pillar of that fiery molten light that shoots down through the darkness. And I think we get a shot of you hanging off the boat as this pillar goes down, illuminating the depths, and maybe there's the stark outlines of some aquatic life down there that scatters in every direction, and nothing else. You don't see the bottom. You can see the wall of the cavern off to one side, and that's it.
Were you the one that told me recently, like, it was on Reddit, it was like fear of the open ocean is just fear of heights?
Yeah.
Athena's thinking about that really hard right now.
So that explosion goes off, and then you hear the voice again, and I think that's it for his round. It is your turn. Are you just holding underwater here? Okay.
Holding possibly an attack if they're found.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Buddy action. You just want Tuka to...
Buddy up. Can she roll unnoticed to see Zadal glowing? Would she have seen their silhouettes hanging off the boat when shit lit up?
I'll let her make a notice. What I would count as the darkness, the illumination penalty for being in like near darkness down here will be mitigated both by Zadal's glow and the pillar of fire that just erupted. So
Gotcha.
Because she finished her task at the end of last round, this is a new round, she's on her way back. I think she's looking in your direction and she would be able to make that.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll to see if she sees where you are.
Notice?
It is a D8.
5.
As you're hanging there in that same illumination, you can see the thick forms of your cycles still drifting further downwards into the depths, but you can see the sleeker but dark form of Tuka starting to flutter her way through the water back up towards you.
She sees the cycles going down and a couple bubbles of grief escape her mouth.
Oh. Tuka will make her way towards you. You want to roll her pace? It's a D8.
D8.
She has the fleet-footed edge.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay, then yeah, Tuka makes it to you in one turn. Because her default pace is 8 instead of 6, so moving half in water is 4. Even halved, she makes a full. So she makes it back to you and sees that you're hanging there, not moving. Maybe you even flag her over. She comes and joins you, and you can see by... Do you still have your flashlight out? Is that a thing?
Oh, I assume that tumbled long ago.
So then maybe by the very faint glow of Zadal, you can see just her terrified expression, but she holds her hand up and the red robe is clutched in her talons.
Athena gives her a nod and a very tired thumbs up with the arm she's supporting Zadal with.
And she looks up.
She shakes her head.
Worried. Gives you a small nod in response. And that's that turn. Let's end the combat here. What happens over the next, let's say, 15 to 30 seconds is you continue hearing this shouting and laughter from up above, intermixed with brief flashes of orange-yellow light as fire continues shooting out. You see the figure move back out over the water, so it's almost directly above you now, and the fire is apparently being aimed at the walls of the cavern.
Oh, okay. Attacking moths or something.
That's a reasonable assumption. And that goes on for another couple of seconds, but then eventually stops, and you hear the voice yammer on for another 5 or 10 seconds before you can see it start to drift away again. And then if you're down here...
Only at that point does she go back up for a breath.
If it becomes important to know, characters can hold their breath for a number of rounds equal to 2 plus their vigor die, or half that if they weren't prepared for being submerged and didn't have time to get a good breath. 2 plus half your vigor. All you skinny motherfuckers have a D4 vigor.
But Zadal doesn't need to breathe.
Yep, doesn't breathe. So Zadal is fine. You and Tuka can hold your breath for a total of 4 rounds. I need you and Tuka to make 2 separate vigor rolls for fatigue. If you failed, you're going to get fatigue from having to hold your breath for longer, and if it incapacitates you, that's going to be a bad time.
Yeah.
So, no more orange penalty here. Okay. And you're also not distracted anymore.
7 for Athena.
Okay.
Tuka. 6 for Tuca.
Okay, so that's 1 round.
Wait, my vigor roll would have been -1. They're both 6s.
Okay, let's get 1 more for both of you, please. Here's Athena.
That one does not pass.
Okay.
That's a 3.
Okay, do you want to Benny that, or are you going to take that fatigue?
I need to Benny that.
Okay.
No, that's still a fail because of my -1.
Where are you getting the -1 from?
My vigor rolls are all -1.
Oh, duh. Yes.
So I'll take a fatigue, I suppose.
Okay.
But for Tuca, does she have a Benny?
She hasn't used any bennies yet.
I'll use a Benny.
Okay.
Nope, worse.
So Zadal is at 1 wound. Tuca is at 1 fatigue. You feel confident that the figure has drifted off somewhere
Good.
after a number of rounds pass, and there's no further indication that something is happening up above.
Goes back up for the quietest gasp of air imaginable.
You do note while you're underwater here, after that second column of fire erupted down through the water, the barge has been making these groaning noises behind you and is now starting to shift a little bit to one side.
She pulls everybody else up with her. Says, I think our ride's shot. Literally and figuratively. And she says it very wet, very soppily. And she just clunks her head on the side of the stupid boat.
Tuca wrenches herself up to be next to you, and she still has the robe clutched in one claw that is pressed against the side, heaving these deep panic breaths. Her scale pattern is darker right now, kind of blends in with the water, but it shimmers to a slightly paler shade as she peers up over the lip of the barge, glancing around. And you want to make a notice for her? This is going to be a -4. Illumination penalties and distance, so
Okay.
this is going to be at a -8.
Fuck no.
Okay. I don't see anything anywhere.
Okay, you guys stay here for a sec. I'm gonna swim around to the other side and try to fix whatever's gone terribly wrong. So we don't...
I got him. It's
Okay,
all right.
here I go. Here I go. And
Zidal's
she...
like, oh, yeah, I'll be okay. Oh, I'm a little toasty. The water feels good, though.
Oh, good. And she goes right under.
All right. So what are you attempting to do?
She wants to go around to the other side, underwater as far as she can go, to see if she can fix any of the damage,
Okay.
since it seems to be listing.
Sure. I think this is going to be a boating roll.
Fuck!
Because
Untrained
I'm
boating
gonna
roll!
treat this as like knowledge of boats and how they floats. So your ability to adequately repair this in such a way that it will not only not sink but also continue to be a vessel is gonna be what your role is. So that being said, it's a giant fucking hole. Just make your untrained.
Oh, God.
D4 -2. It's pretty bad. I say eating my delicious words as she blows it
7.
up. 7. Okay. All right. So the way this
How
barge
those words taste, by the way.
the way this barge is constructed seems pretty basic design. There are long barrels of air stuck under either side that help it stay afloat, and it looks like one of those has been punctured and now it's
Okay.
filling with water. So potentially if you were to seal that up and maybe even figure out how to drain the water out, that would be best. But in the meantime, if you seal that up, it'll probably stop it from getting worse.
Could she try to push the water out of it with a disc of metal through it and then just have the metal seal the hole at the end?
Sure, that's a creative. I like that. That makes sense to me. Go ahead and go your essence die, -2, to see how dexterous you can be with this.
Well, that's a failure.
Failure, okay.
But I need this to work, so here's my last penny. He's just waiting for me to spend it to come back and ice me. 6.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, so you create this metal disc that you use to slide the length of the air-filled tube to just force the rest of the water out towards the hole. And once you're confident that you've pushed everything as far as you can, you're able to cinch it down to cover that and then squeeze the last bit of metal together to force the remaining water out. And there's not an immediate uptick or anything. It's not like, poof, it's fixed. But it's no longer waterlogged and it doesn't appear to be sinking anymore. And I think that same logic is going to track for the one that you did previously. It seems to be
Okay.
the same issue. It just punctured another one of these things, so you can fix that one without too much trouble and remain afloat.
She wants to swim back to her friends and
Sure.
let them know she thinks it's mostly fixed.
So I can get out of the water?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good.
She She bangs lightly on the side of the boat and makes a ladder out of it.
Fawns.
Yeah.
Hey. You guys scale your way up onto the barge, and it's, again, eerily silent with just the water lapping against the side. Salt in the air, now joined with combustion. You can smell smoke. It smells like some burned chemicals, and you realize that that's probably coming from Zadal. And the garbage is still in the area. Now it smells like burning garbage.
Gross, that's so much
for
worse.
the remnants of what had been in here that was not scraped clean.
She's gonna get everybody into the cabin again, just to have some cover that's slightly covered because the roof is now gone.
Yep.
She looks at Tuka very hopefully and says, "Do you know how to drive boats?"
I ain't used to handling something this big, but I think I can figure it out, yeah.
Well, it's not like there's too many things to hit out here.
Yeah, no kidding. You okay?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
The parasite.
That's what I was afraid of.
He's got a different name, but now I'm getting an inkling that we shouldn't use it.
Purses her lips together, slowly pushes herself to her feet. And you guys are all just dripping, sopping wet.
Yeah, Athena collapsed against that little freezer box.
Do you want to go now? Should I wait? Is he going to come back? I mean...
Let's wait a little bit.
All right.
Just hang out.
We get a shot of you guys sitting in this rectangular room with no roof, hunched against the walls and little puddles of your own water. Tuka puts her head in her hands and heaves a shaky breath.
I think she puts a hand on her back real quick. Just pat, pat.
And Zadal's head clinks against the wall as he lays back and sighs. What are they?
Athena looks at Zadal and just tries to get a feel for his general situation, because she heard it sounded bad and then it smelled bad.
Yeah.
But how does it look?
He's definitely singed. He's got more circuitry showing than he had before.
Well, she picked up repair as a skill.
Okay.
And combined with her metal manipulation, maybe that's something she could help with?
Yeah, I think you could probably do that. I would say you don't have the appropriate tools probably to do what you need, but I would still allow you to make a roll at probably -2.
I mean, she can make whatever tool he tells her she needs.
That's true. Okay, well then just go ahead and make it a straight repair roll. But this does include his wound penalty, because it's acting like a healing roll. So it's at -1 because he has 1 wound.
Okay.
And then whatever additional penalties you have from fatigue.
Gotcha, so -2. Woof. Nope. Can't help at all.
Oh.
She's trying to help in some way and her hands just keep shaking.
He tries to direct you at first, but when it's clear that either you can't do it because your hands are failing or your head is just too scattered, he puts a hand on yours and gives you a squeeze and just tries to steady him, and he says,
Hey, it's gonna be okay.
Sorry.
You didn't do this. It's okay.
No, but it was my fault that this happened. I could have just let him row off like a jackass. But I didn't.
There's no telling, he could have just come back and done it anyway. He's crazy. You can't predict that.
Maybe I could have, though.
Well, it's done. It doesn't. We're all okay. We're gonna be okay.
Ugh. Head just clunks back on the icebox and maybe dislodges something inside it.
Tuka will eventually go to take hold of the barge and begin trying to steer it back towards the mainland.
We'll need to get a story straight on how this barge got fucked up and our bikes got iced. She says out loud. What do you guys think? Maybe it was just real dark, we couldn't see what happened. Maybe something bumped into it, took a bite out of the tank.
I mean, that sounds about as good as anything else, you know? Just missing cycles. They're gonna see this damage. Did a good job of patching it together, but still...
Noticeable.
Still noticeable, yeah.
I mean, we could just... It was dark. We don't know what happened. Bikes were gone, but damn, we brought back the barge.
Yeah.
Barge heroes, except we didn't find the guy we were looking for.
I mean...
Or the other guy who turned out he was gone.
We got attacked by an unknown assailant who destroyed our bikes and could be in cahoots and responsible for the Oculus's disappearance. It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to keep to ourselves anymore.
Oh, me either. Man, what a convo. She says, weakly.
Yeah.
Sorry I was weird for a while there. At the beginning, I was just really, I don't know, it was just a lot of lights.
It's okay. Sorry I wasn't much more help during, any of it. I'm just real tired.
You want to take a nap?
Yeah,
We'll be out here for a while.
That could be nice. But I can handle it.
But you don't have to. I've got this lovely soppy pillow, and she flops the fucking cloak on the ground.
I ain't gonna leave you here to think about it by yourself.
By myself.
No, 'cause I'm awake.
And Tuka's here.
Well, yeah, her, I guess.
We're all in the same tiny fucking room.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
But you're focusing so hard.
yo ho.
She says, turning the wheel back and forth as the barge, does not move at all to either side.
You know what's oddly more insulting than my bike getting sunk?
Zadal's just leaning against the wall with a hand over his chest.
What? I don't know.
That these things made of energy can use my fucking website. I don't know why that's making me so angry right now, but it really... I'm pretty cheesed about that.
You thinking they can, become the internet?
I don't know. Maybe.
That'd be spooky.
That would be. Maybe it's good we don't have internet too well down here.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like, fast info and looking up recipes and stuff that I fucked up every time and playing video games. That was great, but I think down here is better and safer.
No arguments here, trust me.
God, it's just so insulting. Athena's quiet for probably a good stretch of time, thinking and listening to the water sloshing. I shouldn't have let Nima die. I've been thinking about that a lot.
This Tuka turns the wheel a little bit, guiding it around the turn. It's not like you had much of a choice, Dina. She was captured, but she was doing stuff you don't understand. You were there with Rasmus. Who knows? Better to have you here and her not than the other way around.
She offered me help.
What did she offer you?
She told me that she could tell me what was going on with me, because she knew before I did what was going on. My eyes flashed a little purple and I didn't understand that at the time, but, after the evening I definitely did. A little bit, however much I can understand what the fuck's happening. But she said if I would have gotten her out of there, she would have helped. She could have just been lying. I mean, she was reporting your location to Olivia the whole time, she said. Found that out. Forgot to let you know. Didn't come up a lot because, she was dead.
Tuka's hands tighten on the wheel, and you see the scales right by her knuckles lightening in color a little bit. Well, that would explain a lot, and makes me feel less sorry that she ain't here now.
Yeah.
Dina, maybe she could have told you something, but getting her out of there after everything she did, do you really think that would have been the right thing,
No, but...
She could have gotten you and Tuka killed plenty of times before that. She killed those other regulators.
She was trying to keep the fans off. I know her actions were bad, but what if that's gonna happen with me?
What do you mean?
If someone's up top and they can exert control, if I'm one of these links that's still in a chain, what if I have to listen to them?
I'm gonna make a smarts roll here. Zadal's facial features rearrange, and there's a small mechanical whir as his eyebrows move.
Didn't the Mothman say something about chains being broken or something?
Yeah, but I don't know if Benicia's was, unless killing her broke it. I don't know. It did seem pretty lost and confused when, I jumped into that brain pit. she says, losing a little steam.
I really don't know, Athena. I mean, if you feel like you're acting different or being different, let us know and we'll see what we can do, but I've been inside your noggin. He pokes you a little bit. I don't really know what it looked like before, but everything seems like it's okay right now, so...
Okay. Under the circumstances, okay is more than fine, I think.
Bad, unflattering choice of words. Sorry.
You're fine.
Tuka huffs a breath out through her nose, like... Small laugh. I'm just glad we're alive.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking crazy. I've never seen someone do that much, fire at once. That was a lot. Is that what it looks like when I do shit sometimes?
Both Zadal and Tuka say yes at the same time.
Wonderful. Cool.
And they look at each other and then both have a small chuckle.
Honestly, that's sort of how it is when I see anybody doing stuff like that, because, I can't do anything like that. So it all looks pretty big and dangerous and flashy.
And Tuka is passively nodding in agreement as she looks out ahead.
So yeah, I mean, Dina, you, on the lighthouse, you just had a pillar of what you did to Troya.
That wasn't all me, though.
Kind of stuff I seen you do plenty of times. First time we met when we was walking over the bridge and the Nadas came, did something like that there. I mean, I think you're selling yourself short. Sure, you don't got fire. I mean, well, you do have fire.
She turns around incredulously.
You can't do stuff like that. What are you complaining about?
She's scratching her neck. Can't a girl be a little jealous?
She turns back and her tail swishes through the air.
Oh yeah, you got a lot to be jealous about as far as that's concerned.
Maybe he'll just set himself on fire and we'll be done with him for a while.
Maybe.
Probably not though, right?
He said, didn't he say something about that was in the area?
These things seem to have bases, right? Like, Halarishi up in the air doing moth shit. Green dude under the water talking to people. So what's this guy's deal? Is he just everywhere? He just like a fissure that just keeps cracking out?
Maybe. We don't know. That's the problem. What do we know so far? I mean, let's put our heads together. It ain't like we're doing anything else.
Yeah. So, spectrum. She makes a rainbow motion with her hand in an arc. They've been here, logically, probably since the zero, right? What if they made the zero?
Zadal's features are pinched in thought and slacken just a little bit.
I guess it's possible, but...
Ooh.
I do not know.
Gave myself goosebumps. So they've been around for a long time, and one of them wanted to coexist, the green one, and that doesn't sound like it went so well, so within recent memory, they had to wall it off or something, had to retreat, but people knew about this, so maybe if decisions were made by our leadership, maybe that's why the heads of regulation are all fucked.
Zadal nods again, thoughtful.
Because Halarishi didn't seem to have too bad an opinion of Davith, which means he was probably working with him.
It's possible. I mean, we know all the heads of regulation been tampered with in some way, so if they knew something, maybe somebody took it away. Definitely could be. No idea what happened to Silas.
His hand tightens a little bit.
Damn it, Silas.
You guys like friends?
I guess. I mean, we don't, hang out or anything, but I've known him professionally since I started. It's just, we got a lot in common. He's, you just meet somebody and you got one of those bonds. You just sort of vibe. You bounce ideas and similar trains of thought, that sort of thing. I don't know. I can't explain it.
He thought you were familiar.
Who?
Silas. I saw it on his fun time wall.
What do you mean, familiar?
I that's all it said, unless I could show you. I got it up here.
He'll nod to that and put his hand out and touch you, and then you feel that heat on your circlet.
she will always let it down unless something suspicious is happening.
Gotcha. Then yeah, I think we don't need to play out that scene, but you can show him that memory and he'll take a look, and then we join you guys back on the barge here.
I don't know. I
mean, could he be a vessel? I don't like calling... I want a different name for that, by the way. I would like to come up with a different name for that, because that makes me feel real weird.
Yeah, I mean, have at it. Ain't exactly flattering.
No. It makes me feel like the Spectrum view us as disposable, which we probably are.
Maybe some of them do.
But they seem to want to be doing their own thing, mostly.
At least the moth boy up there. He didn't seem too keen on... I don't know. I mean, the warehouse, that was the first time we ran into him, right?
Yeah.
And you've been seeing these moths around the city, which, they're sequel moths.
Yeah.
So that ain't surprising, but he's around, so he's looking, but nobody knows anything about him, right?
Silas probably does.
Well, yeah, Silas. Yeah.
She looks at him and taps her head and points at him and then back and forth real quick.
Like she wants him to do mental contact?
Yeah.
Okay.
I figure he would probably pick up on that one.
Sure. I'm not going to roll for him because I assume in this he hasn't spent like any of his PowerPoints and you guys have plenty of time, so.
Hey, well, yeah?
I just didn't know if you wanted to... I didn't want to bring this up in front of Tuka because, secrets. But did Halarishi feel like what's going on with your dreams?
Zadal looks down at the ground of the roofless cabin before responding.
I don't know. Maybe. Still something. Kind of like, with Silas. Feel like I've seen it before, but I don't remember. Flashes of orange. That sort of thing.
You looked at Davith a lot in my brain that first time. Do you think he's wrapped up in this too? I mean, he's dead. How can he be?
I didn't want to say nothing, but the room, that moment, right before Joel, just washed in that orange light. Just something about it. I don't know.
I mean, the quarry all around the spire's orange, right? Is that anything?
I don't know, maybe.
And in Silas's... in his office, he's got that tube, right? That tube with the quarry in it, and he's got those red shards. Red's a very suspicious color to me right now.
I guess, yeah.
Silas has a lot to answer for, it seems. And I don't know what I'm gonna do when I find him. I don't.
I don't know if Silas has our best interests at heart, or what side he's on. Sides, I don't even know.
I used to think maybe it was, two opposing forces, but now it's like everybody's got agendas, and it's like rolling this stupid die, and there's so many sides, you don't even know where people are gonna end up. It's mixed up.
Multifaceted.
Like a gem or a crystal, I guess.
Yeah.
Zadal's expression lightens a bit, looks over to you.
It's pretty good, that thing about the die. You should have like a musings column, the Called Chronicle. You can put in a good word with Slug if you want.
Slug?
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't be able to tell you that I already had a column in the Chronicle because it was anonymous.
I see. And, what did this anonymous column entail?
Well, I know a guy at the Called Market who's very on the inside of the culinary scene, and I'd just pass him some stuff about, food. And He got it published. It was called Mean Streets Good Eats. I thought it was pretty good.
No, that's very clever. No, and that's probably also why I never heard of it. If it was, both anonymous and about food, which is something that I don't follow. So
Yeah, checks out.
I guess that tracks.
I wouldn't even worry about it. I haven't gotten back into it yet. Someday, maybe.
Hey, you guys good? Y'all kind of quiet all of a sudden. Tuka turns around to make sure that you're both still there and didn't get stolen or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just, I was just resting my eyes. Just chilling.
Yeah.
Put out a lot of juice, fighting.
Well, I will continue piloting this watercraft back to the city. So don't you worry.
Is there anything you need help with?
Nope. Just gonna keep steering the boat. Shifts the wheel back and forth a little bit for effect. The barge barely moves.
What are we gonna do now? I mean, once we get back, we still gotta find Silas, do something.
Seems like the best way to do that. We got a physical description now, this Karnak, so we can start pounding the pavement, asking people around the called if they stick to the waterfront. That's a place to start. We could go talk to Tuka, your friends, see if they know anything. I guess go from there. I gotta get the Prisme out onto the water. My night tomorrow.
You gonna take it to this Mothman?
Yeah, he can help. Probably more than us, and I don't want this thing to just die in a cage where it doesn't know what's going on. If it can get better and be like a whole, I don't know if a person but a thing.
I don't know either.
I was thinking about just having Roja real heavily sedate it so I can sneak it out and it doesn't I just don't want it to get its teeth into me when I'm trying to help if it doesn't understand.
If they think it's dead, then they're just gonna get rid of it. Probably take it down to the evidence disposal, toss it in the incinerator or something.
Well, I don't endeavor to throw it in that hole, because that would be kind of counterproductive, and I can't go back in there.
I know. It's okay.
Well, I gotta check on my people, make sure they're safe. Ask about this Conic, see if they can find anything soon.
I can come and help with that whenever you want.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Do you want to make it a round trip tomorrow night, taking the Prisme out, and since we're already going to be on the water, just heading right to your friends? Give us some time to ask around about stuff during the day, be official.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't really think we gotta worry about this being an official trip out there, though. I mean, they're out there because they don't like the official,
Makes sense.
I mean, you with me, you'll be alright. It's just, they don't exactly just trust people who show up out of nowhere. So.
I was about to say, neither do I. But look at where my day has gone.
I ain't judging, but we taking a word on faith from this orange bastard. I don't trust any of them.
That's smart. He did give us a lot of information. He didn't have to.
I wonder why.
Probably needs help. If he's the only one of these people actively fucking around watching stuff, I'd be pretty stressed out about stuff too. Because we kind of are.
It recognized you. It said it'd been watching you.
Yeah.
It said it believed you if you gave her word.
Yeah, just to have a real good reputation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's gotta be it.
That's definitely it.
She lightly shoves his shoulder and then remembers he's hurt and immediately regrets.
You shove him and he just rolls with it and flops onto his side. Oh.
Right onto the soppy cloak.
Yeah.
Oh no, does it squish?
Yes, it squishes.
This is real wet.
I know.
I don't like this. Pushes himself back up.
Sorry.
I'm fine. It's fine. Just being lazy.
You know, the parasite, I kind of just want to believe he's lying about Joel. That they would, just be hanging out, doing stuff together, passingly familiar with each other. I don't like that.
That also ain't exactly what he said, right? He just said he just knew who Joel was. That don't mean anything.
Said they went way back with a weird inflection. I'm just trying to read between lines that might not even exist. I'm probably overthinking it, but...
He just trying to mess with your head. Maybe he did know Joel. Maybe he didn't. Maybe they was friends. Maybe not. Don't believe him. I mean, not until you know for sure. He's just gonna dangle that like a hook for you, lead you on, make you do stuff, make you be closer to him. Who knows? As long as he got leverage on you, he got something to control you with. That's all he wants.
You're probably right, but with everything going on, Joel had no more if he knew these people. Like, he was a leader. He was... Joel thought I was gonna go and be Proctor after him, so maybe he thought I would just find out stuff that way. But what if he's what went wrong?
Tuka and Zadal are silent. Maybe they exchange a look with one another.
If they don't say anything, she just keeps talking and she's rolling her hands as she does. It's like a thinking sort of motion. I mean, all these important people were there when he was killed. And, he's pretty green. What if the green underwater got in him and it just tried for that synthesis they were talking about, and that's why they killed him? What if?
Then I think we still don't really know anything, right? Why? How? To what end? I mean, sure, I guess it's possible, but we just don't know. Just don't let him change how you think about Joel, just 'cause maybe. That ain't fair.
But what if I do put him up on a pedestal too much? What if I'm not really thinking about who he was? Or maybe I am, I don't know. I think he's just in my head. I don't have room for another thing in my head! Kicks the heel of her boot into the ground, a little frustrated. Makes a dull little metal thud.
I think we all got a tendency to put the people we admire up on pedestals. Only see the good until, we get the opportunity to see them for who they really are. Sometimes after they gone, those pieces start to drift away. The little things we remember about them. And that's why we hold on so much tighter to the good things. Because we don't want to forget all of them.
No. She smiles over at Tuka, but I think her eyes are just a little bit glassy.
Tuka does not turn around while she's saying this.
But you can't take that on faith. Don't let someone destroy something precious to you. On a whim.
Least of all that fucking skis. Can you believe him?
Yeah, least of all him.
Them. I don't know.
Them? Yeah, maybe.
Them will do for now.
And Zadal reaches a finger out and taps your circlet. He said,
You got this to make sure people can't get in your head, right?
Yeah, how soon do you guys want to get them to? Because I am just eternally worried.
That makes Zadal clam up.
Hell, as soon as we can, I guess. As soon as it's convenient. I don't want any of this nonsense going on in my head. I got enough problems on my own. I don't need more of it.
I feel that. She just briefly pats Zadal's leg, though, and gives him like a little chagrined nod.
His expression indicates that he acknowledges your touch, but he does not say anything.
Doesn't need him to.
He doesn't lean into it, he doesn't lean away from it, he's just...
existing.
He acknowledges.
I mean, maybe Pavi's just so good at them now she can do it all by herself. That's a dream.
That is a dream that I am not willing to put my mental health on the line for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be the guinea pig for that one.
No. Best to stick with what worked already. Athena's just looking out the open door at the water sloshing around, the trash puddles, and just the general wreckage caused in the fight. She shakes her head and says, I can't believe he burnt my note. I hope Isaac's not a time bomb.
This time Zadal puts a hand out and squeezes your leg a little bit, and as you're voicing your concerns about Isaac, Tuka hauls a hard left on the wheel, spinning it around as the barge curves around the final bend and the city drifts back into sight, looming like a neon beacon in the distant darkness. And then we get a side shot of the lighthouse burning in the distance, the opposite direction, as you and your friends drift closer and closer to the shores on this ramshackle barge floating through the dark water.
And so pass 2 brave Corey cycles into the abyss, to be mourned. What a loss.
They died doing what they loved.
Being in the air very briefly. You know who's most likely still serenading them, even in the depths, the briny depths? I'll tell you who. It's Crockett and Wave Shaper. Do you like that segue?
That's a good segue.
Thank you.
And where can we find Crockett?
Crockett is at Crockett80s on Twitter and at crockett.bandcamp.com.
How about Wave Shaper?
You can find Wave Shaper shaping some waves over at waveshaper_SWE on Twitter and at waveshaper1, just waveshaper1.bandcamp.com.
Nice.
And I'll tell you what, I'm still grooving to their new EP, Disc Hunter. It's real good.
Nice.
I like Milkshake Megabyte.
How many boys does this milkshake wrangle to their front yard?
I don't know how many boys are in a bite.
God, a boy bite. I don't know.
A boy bite.
Do we get a bite of boys?
As a treat.
Jeez.
We are on Twitter at RPG for you and me, and I'm on Twitter at UCTheHat. Gonna be posting some Halorishi art this week, I hope. So
yeah, maybe.
That's the goal. So many damn moths. It's gonna be really cool.
My new goal is for every new character design to have it just be as needlessly complicated to draw as possible.
And I appreciate it.
You didn't hear about this yet, but actually in the next episode, as a preview, we find out that the regulator uniforms have been redone with a lot of mesh and fishnets.
And tartan.
And tartan,
The colors
yes.
are now tartan. I'm so angry.
So stay tuned for that. That'll be great. I think you guys will really enjoy that.
But it does make Roth scales pop, so...
Who do we have to thank for this particular savage world in which fishnet tartan jumpsuits are the norm now, apparently?
I think that would be the Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Peginc.com.
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess we're the ones who came up with the tartan
with
fishnet,
this specific savage world, but not the savage world's TM.
Pinnacle, the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, peginc.com.
Thanks, Peginc. You know who I would like to thank?
No.
Our patrons.
Yes.
At patreon.com/RPG for you and me. A very special thanks to Michael. Who's been dealing out some of these real good bonus scene prompts. Surprise, there's a bonus scene on this one, baby!
Oh, yes, it's so good.
I already edited it. It was fun.
That's good. Thank you for all of these fantastic prompts, Michael, and of course your support. We love having you around. It means a lot to us.
I would like to thank you, Pickle.
Why is that?
Because I love you.
Oh, well, I love you too. Thank you for being the you and me in this RPG for you and me. But it's also the royal you, like all of you out there listening.
Hope you're having a safe week. Having as good a time as you can, and enjoy this bonus scene. We'll see you next week.
Keep being safe.
Please.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. We find the Wonderbolts in their special task force room, deep within the confines of the spire, gathered in a circle with Bolt standing in front of you. He's got a whiteboard on an easel with a long pointer.
Of course.
And a couple of
Is it a
dry
laser
erase
pointer?
marker. Let's say it's a metal rod that has a marker on the end of it, so it's like a long...
Well, team, something big has been passed down from higher up.
What would that be?
Well, it seems that there's been some sort of underground racing ring occurring throughout the city.
Is it the Barsks again?
No, not the Barsks. It's Domba this time.
Athena grabs her face in delight.
No, none of that. No, this is not a good thing. We're not excited.
Okay.
We're putting a stop to it.
I'm not excited at all.
I need to know if you can be trusted with this.
Of course I can. She looks at Pavi. Pavi knows.
Pavi shuffles an inch away from you.
Pavi'd be cool.
I'm really cool. I am the coolest.
Anyway, Domba racing.
Bolt gives you a hard, skeptical look before slowly continuing.
Raises her eyebrows and makes her eyes a little wider, but like hopeful. She's cool.
As I was saying, there's an underground circuit running throughout the city. Illegal gambling. It's a big deal, you know.
Oh, I know.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
That's what our case was dealing with for a little while. So yes, I am aware.
But you still seem excited about this.
I'm excited for the chase, the thrill of justice.
Yes, I know we all live for those thrills. And I'm sure we'll have them. This is very high stakes. He leans in a little closer.
No mistakes.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Business.
This is a good day.
A murmur of...
She looks around skeptically. Why isn't anybody else excited about this? A nice reprieve from all the stress.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Bunch of big... Well, they ain't even fuzzy, you know, their fur's all hard.
I know, you just want to scrunch them.
I know, but you can. It's the worst.
Well, you wanna.
Yeah.
I can, but that's what she likes to say.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense for you. Man, how do you think they ride them? Getting all that chafing.
Saddles? Maybe they're shorn.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh.
I didn't have a segue. I just wanted to get back on track. But it worked. Takes his pointer and he's drawing on the whiteboard, and he's standing away from it, so it's at an angle with a long implement. It
He's
looks
not hitting what he
looks
wants.
terrible. I mean, it's just like these blocky shapes.
Athena steps forward, hand on chin, nodding sagely at this scribbly circle.
So, in terms of leads, we have no leads.
Oh no! How do people know about it?
Because we've been getting reports, apparently. Well, not me, not us, but, you know. He points a finger up there. Those people.
Gotcha.
So, ideas? Anyone? How we should, go about finding this and putting a stop to this debauchery?
Debauchery, she says, squarely looking him in the eyes as a challenge.
Roja groans. That's... yes.
Well, we could start looking for tremors, right? They're big boys. That is my only idea currently.
There's a lot of tremors in the city.
But
just generally speaking, you know.
This is true. What about localized at the same time every day? That's a good place to start.
How would you go about doing that? You got special tremor sense? You can...
I mean, I don't, but other links out there, they do stone shaping. I bet they're in the know with that.
You know any?
No.
Good. I have an idea. And he raises his hand. Yes, Zadal, please. How about we use our magic Domba race find the gun? Because that seems to be in line with what Athena here thinks we should do.
Don't be a dick about it. Looking back to Bolt, they did give you one of those, didn't they?
You know, I got a lot of goodies and gift packs, so I'll have to look through them.
Oh, okay. I meant like, the top brass. Seems we're under-equipped for this mission.
I think we're over-equipped. We just need better ideas. So I need all of you to do better than you're doing right now.
Roja's been quiet. She's...
Oh, you're going to throw me under the bus now.
You haven't contributed to the group brainstorm, Roja.
Well, they're not very easy to move around without being noticed. So maybe we start in East City? Talk to people in the cold, maybe?
That's the most actionable plan so far.
And she holds her hands out, just like, yes.
Of course it is.
I like where that's coming from. That makes sense to me. And maybe you could do your tremor sense thingy, Athena.
Yes, that I definitely know how to do.
Oh, good.
I think we'll have this cinched up before dinner, no problem.
Well, supposedly they happen at night through various streets across the city.
Oh, streets? I thought you meant underground circuit.
Well, we're really all underground right now, you know.
Yes, we are. Sure are, Bolt.
He nods.
So
sagely.
through the streets, this will be easier.
Underground in the sense that it's illegal. I figured that was some regulated jargon that you would be familiar with, but apparently I was mistaken.
Athena rubs the back of her neck like a dipshit.
Everyone turns to you and shakes their head.
She's a bit red. She's been more literal the past several weeks.
Tuka rubbing the back of her neck. Yeah, obviously.
Yes! She looks at Tuka, giving her a nod of affirmation like, we were on the same page.
She gives you like a slightly wide-eyed, flat mouth look and then looks away.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna deploy. We're gonna find these Domba. It's gonna be great.
Oh, yes, they're, East City. Did I say we didn't have leads?
Yes, you did, Bolt.
Does that count as a lead?
Yeah.
Oh, well. There you go.
Well, Bolt, since you can literally fly, why don't you do a wide ol' sweep in the air?
No, I can't literally fly. It's more like I jump very hard at things.
Huh. Well, can you jump very high, very hard? For an aerial view of the streets, Javi can assist on her cycle.
I could, but, the aftermath might be less than desirable.
Let's not do that then. Pavi, you can get an aerial view and let us know.
I do have that as a thing that I can fly and something I own personally. Aerial view.
We are off to the races, she says, smugly looking.
Collective sigh from Zadal and Roja, I think. Pavi nods this. Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bolt puts his hand out and says,
All right, everyone gather up, get together, hands in.
Athena is there immediately, hand hovering,
everyone else
looking to her friends.
slowly trickles in.
Okay, what's our team go phrase today?
I thought it would just be Wonderbolts.
Classic. I love it.
Yes, it's
Yes. Wonderbolts on 3. 1.
Wonderbolts.
Derbolts! Yeah. You and Bolt do that, and everyone else just stands there looking around, dejected and confused, but you and Bolt high five.
The sonic boom rocks
Yeah.
rocks the task force room.
Yes.
Credits.
Credits.